Today's video is all about more stuff on the interior. I'm going to wrap the upper portion of the, I guess it's the dash, I don't know, but this middle portion in carbon fiber. Yeah, so in Rockwall, I met this guy at Rockwall County Car Meets. They have a page, you know, their weekly car meet thing, but his Instagram handle is mustangman_5.0. Pretty clean car. And on the inside, he had like this carbon fiber where like the airbag was and where the vents were. And I was like, I didn't think they made carbon fiber parts for it. Like, what'd you do? He goes, oh, it's just Autozone carbon fiber vinyl. And I was like, shut up. And it like felt and looked really good. So this is that carbon fiber vinyl, if you want to call it vinyl. The guy in Rockwall used. So I picked up some of this. It's 6 feet. That should be enough. I shouldn't need to buy any more, but you know, 16 bucks, a little expensive. You might notice I'm missing this piece. I was just messing around. I'll show you how to remove that. Unfortunately, I guess you can look at it either way, but we have to remove the airbag. So that means we have to unplug the battery because I don't want to risk blowing that. And again, today it's a cold day. It's at least sunny, but it's like 45. Great day to be out here. I don't know why, but I always end up doing car stuff in the winter with no heater. Just so it doesn't fall back down or spark or anything, we'll just do that. And while that's draining the system, because I think it takes like 20 minutes to drain or something, that's what they all say. Let's go try to wrap that. I should show you how to remove it first. This is the easiest part, and you want to start over on this section. So this is all one big piece. First step is you want to lower the steering wheel all the way down. So you have a little tab right under here in the middle. You flip it down, and then you can, you know, adjust the steering wheel, lock it all the way down, and then you want to start peeling at the bottom, and then work your way up top. And be careful in this area right here. I broke mine. There is a plastic just rod. Instead of lifting it out like this, you want to lift it up, and then lift it up from back here with, I have a plastic removal thing. You can use a flathead. I don't know the technical terms, but same thing over here, just lift up that way. So that will remove a screw right there. There's also one on the other side right here behind the airbag, and to get this piece out, there's also a screw right here behind the airbag. While the power drains, let's go mess around with wrapping the other parts. So here is that one piece. You got your speedometer, tachometer, and then a vent right there. So this is it exploded out, so you can take the rings out and the vent. I'm also gonna clean all of this with like soap and water. There's a bunch of like dirt and dust, and when you go to take this vent out, you can't really pull it out from this side. You have to push it out when you get it out. What I found easiest was to push the ring out. So there's this style clip, there's 4 of them. Pinch those and push. And then to remove the vent from the ring, we have these little clips, I guess another style of clips, but you lift them up and then you push the vent back. So this is what it'll be like. And when you lift those tabs up, you'll push it out that way. So it comes together like that. This slides from the front into the dash panel. Super easy. These like the gauge bezels, I guess you could call them. You want to start lifting up here, as well as pinching in one-way tabs here. Basically wherever there's tape, just pinch those in. And then once you get the majority of them, it'll just pull out very easily. It basically falls out. So I'll get these cleaned up, and then we can start wrapping them and making them matte black. And also, this chrome ring is starting to peel right there, and underneath it looks matte black. So I guess you could just peel off the chrome. I'm not sure what everything looks like underneath. I don't think the chrome is designed to peel, but it is what it is. Now that everything is clean with Windex, we're gonna wipe everything down with rubbing alcohol, just get all the grease and anything off of it. I'll start with the rings because I've already done the shift boot bezel, so I kind of know what to expect with those. And then we'll move to this, because this is textured and I'm not entirely sure how well it's going to adhere to the vinyl. I'm hoping it'll be no problem, but we're testing it. That's why I haven't taken anything else out, because I don't even know if it's doable. The rings are the main thing I want to do. so here is what it looks like. I don't know if you can tell how smooth it is. I try to get all the bubbles out. I'm gonna go ahead and trim up a lot of this stuff back here with the razor blade, but on you. And also I have some chrome areas. That's from cutting it this way just too close. The vinyl I'm using, Oracle 651. I just got, you know, square foot sheets from Michael's. Fairly easy to work with. I'm not too experienced, so that's nice. We'll just repeat this for these two rings. All right, and here it is done. Lighting is a little rough, but you can see it. Looks decent. This Autozone carbon fiber vinyl isn't very sticky. Like if you try to wrap it around something, it'll just pop up after a minute or so. So I kind of had to trim it close to the edge, but the matte black looks pretty good. And I did end up breaking my little fan control here, so I just got a super glue. There's like a tab I broke right there, so that was just me being curious. You don't have to take it out. Now we have to go take all the other pieces. We got a bunch of stuff missing, as you will see. So we took out the glove box compartment, and that is held by these 4 screws. They're 7mm. They're right up on the bottom, right there. So when you look in here, they'll be like right along there. Pretty easy to find. And then you squeeze the sides and pull out. Very easy to do. Here's the door. That's the angle we're working with. So the airbag is right there. I went ahead and disconnected it, even though the battery's disconnected. You gotta unplug it still, so I went ahead and did that. And all you do is push down on here. As you can see, it moves it up, and then you pull this out. We gotta take these bolts out. They look like 10mm, so let's do that. You'll get a wedge or a flathead and slowly push it out. These bolts are actually 8mm. Do require some force. Now we're just gonna push it out from behind while also working it around the edge. And it, you know, put your hand around and lift right out pretty much. The secret here is the round part of the airbag between the clip and the barcode. You want to push out on that. When you push out on that, it'll all come loose. That's the key part right there. And you really don't need to pry much. It is a little heavy, so be aware of that. It's not super light. And there you go. There you go. That's what it looks like back there. So now we have access to these 2 screws for this one and the other 2 screws for the center one. So now we can take everything out. So now that all our screws are out, you want to make sure you put them in a safe space. So I just put mine right above where they went, because I know this dash will not get bothered with. And we'll start with the center one, and it looks like it just pulls right out. But you also got to remember there is a cable back there because you have a charger. We'll unplug that. This should also just pop right out. Maybe get your handy dandy tool. Alright, so the center one is out. That plug is a little tricky, but when looking down on it, there's going to be this hole right there, and you're going to get a flathead or something sharp and poke it down. This side vent, you also need to get something to pry it. Once I pried it right here, it pretty much just all popped out at once. So start at the bottom and work your way up here, and you should be good. Also, didn't break anything this time. So let's take all this upstairs. So I've been debating doing this and continuing, but I grabbed my heat gun. It said apply heat for contoured areas. The edge is kind of contoured, so let's try heating it up. And it does stick. I should have left it the original length and then applied heat and wrapped it. But once you heat it up, it does stick when you fold it anyway, so it doesn't stick out and look cheap anymore. I'm just gonna do that to the other pieces and it should be good. So that's done. Let's do the matte black first. We'll do that. So I just finished up the passenger vent, and I did it a little bit differently this time. I stuck it on and then I kept pressing down. Didn't cut any holes, and I used the heat gun to stretch it out. And so this film, it reacts very well with heat. It makes it more pliable. It doesn't like shrink up or anything. So I just heat it up a little bit, press it down, go around the edges, go like that. Just with my finger, I didn't even need a tool. And did that until it got to the very bottom, and then I cut very close to the edge of the circle, and then I just wrapped it around. Same thing, heated it up, made it pliable so I could tuck it around. So worked pretty well. I mean, I don't know if you can see there's a bubble there. It's like that line kind of follows for like half of it. Just from when I was pressing down, I guess I didn't get that part heated up enough and it shrunk or something. So I've been heating it up and pressing it and it got pretty good results. So I might play with that more, but for now it's pretty solid. So I had a scrap left over just the right size for this centerpiece. So we'll do the same method, and this is pretty flat. But as you can see, there's a lot of wrinkles in it. I don't know what from, but I guess the chrome on here has gotten a little wavery, warped. We'll do that. We'll do the top, press it down, heat it up, and then cut it. And that'll be it for the chrome pieces. So let me show you what that looks like done. So now we're going to wrap all the other dash pieces. And now that I know the secret that I need to heat this to wrap it over, I will not cut it as close to the edge. I'll wrap it over and then cut it, because you won't see all of the inside, but you'll see just a little bit. Same thing goes for all the edges, and I'll do that on all three. This one has like a design in the middle, and I don't know if I'm just gonna cover that up or leave the design or what. So we'll figure that out later. I'm just gonna skip to when these two pieces are wrapped in this carbon. All the main pieces except for the airbag are 100%. The passenger vent actually came out really good, along with the center one. I wish I had enough to redo this, but for now it's pretty good for me messing up and not knowing. The heat gun is the secret with this stuff. But here is the airbag. That's what it looks like. And you know, I was debating doing like one strip or having them like have a V, you know, like a V pattern, but I decided just to do it all with, but I decided to make it look like it's just all one sheet. And there's a little strip that goes out here and it says Mustang. So that little strip is gonna be carbon, and then Mustang will just be plain. So all that's left is to cut this out and tidy up some edges, just reapply heat basically. Let's cut it. Also, we got the buttery films on tonight because love buttery. And there it is, all cut out. So you can kind of tell, I tried to match the side part up very well, but the strip was a little tougher. I might need to come back tomorrow and fine tune it. There's the other side. You can barely tell it's 3 separate pieces. It actually looks really good. So we're gonna install this tomorrow because it's midnight. Catch it. Alright, and we are back in the garage. It's the next day, and so far I just wiped down the vent, so trying to get all the dust and whatever out of there. But basically all we have to do is put it back in the reverse order than we took it out. So we'll do this passenger vent, then the center vent, then the airbag, then the driver area. Don't think you have to torque any of these down. I do know you shouldn't over torque them, so just hand tight should be fine. Let's make this all match. Here we got the center vents and the charger in. Don't forget to plug that back in. And we also have the passenger vent, and tightened all those up. Now we're ready for the airbag. Alright, that went in a whole lot easier than how it came out. So we'll see if all the holes are lined up, but you just push it in. I just started at the top and then I worked my way around. Seemed easier than before. I don't know if that's good or bad. So that is that for the passenger side. We got everything there. Don't forget to plug in your airbag. That is very important. And we also got the screws in for the glove box. It was a little tricky getting the glove box in, but you just gotta finagle it. Just make sure all the holes line up. That's the easiest way. And then I actually shut it to keep it in place so I could screw everything in, and that was very helpful. Let's install that piece. And there we go. It is all installed. And I also cleaned up the gauges a little bit. So you can see the pattern lines up fairly well from panel to panel, which is, that's what I wanted. You might not want that. You might want a different pattern every panel, but I wanted it to look like all one piece. So the center console being carbon, this looks really good. That's it. You just gotta plug in the battery and that's it. Let's start her. Why not? Let's do that. that a light is on because we have power. So we got real carbon, fake carbon, gloss, matte, textured kinda, and it just feels like gloss paint. I think it looks really good, and I might have to buy more and do these plastic pieces. With that, I'm gonna conclude today's video. So stay tuned. What do I say? Take care, see you tomorrow. Here it is in the daylight, well, sunset. It looks way better than that gray stuff that was on here, especially with this, because now they match. This is a little bit lighter, darker. It's a different shade, but it's also matte, so that could be a part of it. And this panel was the one I had the most trouble with because it was the first one I did. So I cut it short, so things like that did happen. So maybe I'll take a heat gun to it and try to wrap it, I guess. Or I'll just buy another roll and redo this piece. Because I may end up doing like this, because that's simple enough. Especially with that. This is gonna be a little bit harder. I can maybe do this. Pieces that, aren't really affected by weight savings with real carbon, and I can just do fake carbon and, call it a day. The black vinyl has also held up pretty good. It's just been parked in cold weather. So again, the only issue is this first panel where I started. This ring and a couple of the gauge spots. But overall, it looks really good. Can't complain. I highly recommend this. It's only like $16 for it, and the heat gun's $10 at Harbor Freight, which is the one I was using. So for under $30, I say this is a pretty big transformation. Just a dash. The center console stuff was separate. That was like $350.